Hi, Gothlins. Today's rather special. One, this video isn't going to be edited, so I'm really going to have to think on my feet, filter, edit as I go. Okay, which, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But two, the most important thing, today is my late mother's birthday. She would have been 67. Um, or 60. I'm sure it's 67. And I would just like to use this video as an excuse to um, tell you a bit about my mother and the impact that she had in where I'm at now. Because she died 7 years ago, okay, and it wasn't until the realization, oh, I'm actually on my own now, and I don't mean that to sound like uh, um because Jay's always been a part of my life, but it's somewhat. I suppose my brother would have the same kind of story. Our mother has always been a crucial part of our existence. And when you take that crucial somebody out, oh, it's like an engine missing that one vital part. Maybe small, maybe large, but without that part, maybe the engine will work. But I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but yeah, it took a couple of years, certainly for me to grasp the realization, yeah, I'm on my own. And um, the first couple of years were hard, were really, really hard. I touched base with depression in such a scary and dark way, which I thought, okay, this is really, really it. Okay. And slowly, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, because I remember having this huge like depression for a couple of years. And slowly I began to claw my way back. They do say, don't they, the first 3 years are the worst. I don't know if that's true. I think it's very much a personal thing. It can't be copy and pasted and applied to everyone. I think it's a very personal thing. But yeah, my brother and I, um, she'd always been there. I know that sounds so like obvious to say, but yeah, yeah. So, and my mother would howl at this, but yesterday on social media, I thought yesterday was her birthday, today, the 27th. I don't know why I thought the 26th. I, I so um I don't really want to make this like long and drawn out as content go, but no, that's not. I think the main photos of my mother and I are upstairs. I'll show that another time. That's my great grandparents on my father's side. I love looking at Victorian, like, or Victorian-esque, you know, the older brown kind of, because it's not truly black and white, so it's got a bit of brown kind of overtones in it. I find those photos fascinating, right? I don't think this... Oh dear, I'm still trying to get rid of the dry chesty cough. Sorry, I'm trying to be as quick as I possibly can, because I'm not editing this, so it's not going to be like... I mean, feel free to like zoom and skip, and because I think those are my school photos, which are charming. Oh, that's one of me. Oh, that's... Oh, yeah, okay. That's me and my grandmother, my nan, who I adored. I adored most of the women in my family. You know, I don't know whether it had something to do with like being gay and I gravitate towards females anyway. I don't know, but my nan there, I adored that lady. When she died at 89, I was heartbroken. I was absolutely heartbroken. I loved looking at both my mother and my grandmother and seeing the parallels, but in some ways they were completely opposite in the way they viewed life, and I love that. I love people. I absolutely love people. Right, so I am trying to get this right. That's not that's my cabaret, and that's just I'm sure I had... Right, let's just have a so that was my first border collie, Bella. Right, one. It's funny looking at old photos, isn't it? Some of my first cats as well. I know everything's on like line now, especially with places like Instagram, but I don't know, I just like feeling old photos as well. You can't feel a computer, can you? Well, maybe you can, but you'd be looked at quite alarmingly. Right, I found one at least. I can hear my mother now. One is all you need, Nat. Really? You don't... This is your life. Yeah, I'm afraid. So while I'm finding some more, possibly some more photos of my glorious mother, she was really an instrumental, no pun intended, part of coming out from that disability childhood. Okay. By the way, watch out if my mother appears in an orb or something, and timestamp it for me, because I won't be aware, because you know what I'm like on the mouth. And she never pushed me into music. She never was like some parents are quite mean when, certainly singing as an instrument, singing, I feel, gets the most um, mean comments. Like, it's certainly up there. It certainly is. You, I feel as though parents, friends aren't as mean about the triangle, say, or the recorder. They're quite encouraging, aren't they? Oh, you'll get it. Just keep on practicing. And some parents, like, they're either like, you suck, you sound like cats. Uh, um, a group of cats, not the musical. And they're quite disheartened to the possibility of, okay, my son, daughter needs encouragement to get their confidence up and to progress. Not all parents, certainly, not all parents, but some parents can be quite mean. And you never forget what is said to you at the very start. Not so my mother. My mother was, she was right behind me in, how it all started really was, oh no, you can't see it, that thing there, which is one of my first keyboards that I had bought for me. Keyboards back in the 90s, certainly weren't as sophisticated as they are now. It was, I was lucky enough to be asked, right, which brand do you want? And it all started at school, because at school, Yamaha was the thing, and I thought, right, okay, a Yamaha. Well, at that time, I didn't realize Yamaha were like really expensive compared to Casio, which I remember saying, why would I want, the same make as my watch? Why would yeah, I was stupid. Some people say I still am stupid, but I pretty much set my eyes on near enough the same Yamaha keyboard that I've been used to playing at school, and yeah, it never occurred to me that I would stick to it, because my mother said, right, okay, this is going to be your main Christmas present. You're only likely getting 3 presents compared to my brother, who had about 6 or 8 or something, because it was so expensive. And I said, right, that's fine. That's fine, as long as I have so she and my grandmother put money by and bought this excuse me, keyboard from, I think, Argos. Okay, so not a music shop, as in music shop, but and I suddenly had a full keyboard, as opposed to like micro keys that, I'm sure if money was a lot tighter, that's maybe what I would have ended up with, one of those toy things. But getting back to, you know, my mother's kind of um, encouragement, and I never received, God, you sound like cats stuck under the door. Oh, it was, you know, my mother always pushed. I think because suddenly she could see in me that, oh my God, at last he's got a passion. And I think my mother could tell that this was gonna hang around a bit. It was, I mean, if you're a parent, you know, especially with, you know, teenagers, phases. You know, it's a part of growing up, isn't it? You know, you want to find your people, you want to find your thing. Some things work, some things don't. But I think quite early on, my mother could, right, this is a risk worth taking because he never shuts up about songs, singers, you know, the real tech kind of nerdy stuff, you know, different pitches, octaves, and the fact that my last year at school, I used my lunch hour. So we had an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. 12 to 1:15 or something like that. So I would kind of rush my terrible, really. I wasn't thinking about indigestion or anything like that. I was like, and then I headed straight for the main assembly hall where the piano was, right at the end, and I would play. I would learn the piano, and it was so sweet, really, because as I was like tinkering away, I loved our school cook. We had so much like, I felt as though I could be who I wanted to be and not put up this front about talking about anything other than sounding gay, being gay, because I that was like a ticket to the the school lads to take the pee out of me. You know what I mean? So I was like still gay inside, but I couldn't like give them that opportunity to like. I remember that. But with Mrs. Worthington, yes, that was her name. She was the best cook we'd ever had. And I remember, you know, her coming through, tidying the tables and chairs up, and her like, you know, being really positive about, you know, sounding good, Nat. And do you know whatever? And then because I'm like, I took nothing seriously. I said, "Well, you hum it, and I'll find the chord." So that's how. And you need positivity when you're starting an instrument. No one sounds good straight away, like a singer. No one sounds good, even those with natural talent that they need to flourish of positivity, you know. So I had this, I'm so sorry this is turning into like, but it's really a lot to cram into a 5 minute video, and it can't be done. So this is my darling mother. That was actually taken on my 18th birthday. She was amazing, absolutely amazing. So Yes. Um, and where was I? Where was I at? Excuse me. I can't remember. Um, oh yeah. Kind the piano keyboard thing kind of bled quite naturally. I feel into singing. Um, this is how it happened. Okay, I was very much aware that I could only take playing the piano as far as one hand would allow me. So I made sure that I knew my scales. I made sure that I knew majors, minors, sevenths, diminished chords, eighths, 13th. Welcome to the jazz world. But you know what I mean. So on that basis, theory, and I said this to my mother. I said, look, I hope you don't view it as a bad investment, but I can only take this as far as, and I explained what I just explained to you. I had the same story ready for my nan. And I said, I'd quite like to sing. I don't know whether I'd be any good coming out of it, but and previously I'd always get cast as the lead in Christmas productions. So I thought, well, I've been told I don't sound too bad. I can carry a tune. And this is before the opera stuff. I had no intention in touching opera. No one believes it, but it's true. I just wanted to sound the best I could. I didn't know whether coming out of it I would have an okay voice, a good voice, a wow, yeah. Uh, um, I didn't know. You don't know. Because, like, buying an instrument, a musical instrument, is a real risk. Certainly on the parents' part, I feel, because they're not cheap. The good, great names out there, like, Yamaha, aren't cheap. So even the basic, well, not basic, I hate that word basic, but you know what I mean. Even um, the first line, the first level, you're looking at like serious money. So it's yes, it is an investment in your child's dream. You've always got to invest in a dream, but you I don't think you should spend too much money. You don't want to spend like the basic money, but about half, I think, it is a good, like, if it pays off, it pays off. If it doesn't, well, I don't know. I mean, especially coming from someone that hasn't had children, but I've got a lot of nieces and nephews, so I feel qualified. Thank you. But going back to my mother, her investment in my desire, dream, passion really only it got to an obsessive level, right? Where I Because singing lessons in the 90s were mega expensive. I mean, they've always been expensive, but I feel in the 90s, just trying to find like someone that was qualified. There was no such thing. Let me tell you, there was no such thing as vocal coach. Okay, I feel that that's an American term. I don't. Maybe it isn't, but I don't remember ever hearing hearing it in my neck of the woods. It was always singing teacher, and they were mega expensive. And before I found the one that I wouldn't mind, because the connection had to be there. I had to be comfortable. She had to be comfortable. So it's and then that's when I found Christine Hubbard, the late Christine Hubbard, that I owe so much to my beginning, the start of my, because I really sounded rough. I I might play you a cassette. That's how, yeah, that's how old we're talking about. But back in the early, I was so frightened to sing out. I had no projection. You know what I mean. I was like, la 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 la. No, I would go off. I couldn't like do the la 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 da 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 la da 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 da. I could I only kind of found that out with Rachel. So it was really a journey. But my mother obviously saw, she had more confidence in me than I had confidence in me, and I would always be talking on the phone about, she would ask, what did you learn this week? And I said, well, I've learned like minor chords, those really sad, and I think I might want to go into a bit of jazz. And she was, I nearly swore there, but so fantastic, because she wasn't musical at all. I'm the only one in our immediate family that is musical. Okay. God knows where I've got it from. I don't know. I think I have to go back to the family tree to find out. Oh, there used to be a trumpet player. Your great, great, great step cousin called Wilfred. I don't know. I don't. Oh, that's where I got it from then. But even though she wasn't musical, and I was using a lot of nerdy terms, she took so much interest, and that is what makes a difference. Both my nan, because I was still in training when before my nan died, and I feel really fortunate that I had such a support network, my one, as I wrap up this, so this isn't going to be a 30-minute video, I guess, because I'm not editing this. As we wrap up and as I conclude things, my only, I don't know, yeah, I suppose it is, my only regret is that my mother isn't here. Now all the good stuff is happening. You know, I'm doing some amazing things with my voice that are risky, you know, are quite, oh, or it might not, but I don't think like that now. You know, I don't think in the negative. You know, my mindset right now is, what's the worst that can happen? It sucks. Well, you're not performing at the Albert Hall. It's not a live, you know, just have fun with it. And that's my mindset. Everything I sing right now, I'm in that jamming mindset of, okay, we're just singing a song. We're just having fun. It's taken a hell of a long time to get here. You know, that was my mum all over. She said, like, that was the way she led her life. And it took me a long time to think, do you know what? She's right. What am I putting myself through this? It's only singing scales, not like every note had to be like, and then the slightest, right, start all over again. And I lost the passion a bit, you know. So much good stuff. I feel as well as though, like, how to say this? I had to lose something so incredibly special to me, and it ripped my heart out and my soul, and my brother as well, you know, and like, I had to feel that pain for me to, for something to come along and replace that music. I mean, nothing will ever fill the void completely, but I had to lose something to gain something. You know what I mean? And when I look back, I mean, I know my mother is with me 247, you know, 365. I know that, but I just wish she'd stuck around a bit longer. But then you think there will never be a right time for her to go. I'll come up with another excuse to keep her, you know, and you know, her health wasn't brilliant. She was probably in a lot of pain. So, but I feel as though since she's gone, so much good stuff has like, oh, found my resonance. Oh, found my tone. Oh, bridge. It didn't happen as quick as that, but I felt at the time, and I did tell someone, I don't know who, but oh my God, since she's been gone, so much good stuff has, and every time I sing certain songs, I'm reminded that she's probably like in the room or above, or I mean, so many, like, you guys know that I record every vocal coach lesson with Rachel, okay, for notes mainly. It's not, oh, Anna's so brilliant. No, it's, I've got no memory for what's been said in that lesson, so I just shoot it on film. And some of the lessons you can see like the orb go straight into like my soul, and I think, oh, there is no way that that's like, and I love moments like that. So it all ties together, this video and what I've just said about the orbs, and kind of, I mean, there was one lesson where she did like a, I don't know what kind of shape it was, but I was like, easy there, mother. And And I'd like to think it's not just my mother. It's like everyone that I've lost that is just checking base with, oh my God, Nat, yeah, we're here. Yeah, because I've lost so many. It's scary, isn't it? I've been to more funerals than I have weddings. That's scary. I'm so sorry that this video is long, but you know what I'm like? I can't just tell a condensed story. I can't do it. I'm a natural storyteller, I've actually been told, so thank you very much. Mother, she hated being called mother. She hated being called mother. Um, and I feel as though, like, if I call her, like, mama, I want to go into Bohemian Rhapsody. So, mum, happy birthday. Um, hope you're having a swell who says swell? It's such a, like, 30s thing to say. Oh, it's a swell. Hope you're having a great time. And sorry I messed up your birthday yesterday. I kind of, yeah, that's thank you guys. It won't be too long before I'm back reacting. Sorry this video is mega long, but you know what I'm like. So I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, happy new year.